I'm so excited. We get to talk about moms supporting emotions, but specifically like moms' emotions and taking care of ourselves, and then also ways that we can support our kids and their emotions and making sure that all around everyone's just happy. So I get to host this class with Shayna. Do you want to introduce yourself, Shayna, and say hi?
Yeah, hi. We're super excited to talk about mom supporting emotions today.
Okay. So first I wanted to talk about moms and recognizing your emotions specifically. And I kind of made just like a little chart here of the path you should take in taking care of yourself and in those emotions. So first being um remembering that there is no right way to feel your emotions, but that we can learn how to sit with uncomfortable feelings and help them flow through and eventually pass. And so recognizing those emotions as a mom, there's 7 basic emotions, 7 main emotions that we can focus on out of 100 plus emotions that are labeled out there. And those main 7 emotions are anger, sadness, fear, surprise, disgust, contempt, and happiness. And those are they're easier for an adult to understand. And then later we can explain like the easier options for kids and explaining them because they're going to be like, what does contempt mean? What is disgust? Like, why do I feel disgust? But those are the main basic emotions. So first, as a mom, we want to identify the emotion that we're having. So let's just say anger, right? If I'm angry with my child for a decision that they made, I need to identify that emotion by asking myself, what is this emotion that I'm feeling? What's coming with that emotion? Is my heart racing? Is my jaw clenched when I'm feeling this emotion? So identifying specifically what it is and what's coming with it feeling wise. And then we move on to acknowledging that emotion. Make sure that you pause and accept the feelings that you're experiencing without trying to change how you feel. If you want to just jump into, oh, I don't want to feel that, I can't feel that, you're not going to process it and you're not going to accept that you're allowed to feel those emotions. You're allowed to feel that certain way. And so then the next, after you identify, after you're like, okay, I know what this emotion is, I'm okay, I'm allowed to feel it, we're moving into getting curious. And getting curious is going back to asking those questions. What's the reason I got upset? Why am I feeling this way? What's triggering me to feel this way? And am I right to feel this way in the moment? Um, Later on, I kind of just tie this into kids, but you want to see, is there a real reason I'm being triggered? Why am I being triggered? And am I reacting appropriately in this moment? So after you ask those questions, you need to then ask yourself, what do I need to do with these feelings? What am I gonna to do to help myself? So what do I need? That's going to be either time to process. Do you need someone to talk to? Do you need to step away for a minute, get outside and just breathe? Do you need to go grab a piece of chocolate and shove it in your mouth so you're happy and you don't have to deal with it anymore, right? So those are some of the what do I need. I saw this video the other day on Instagram.
Recording in progress.
A woman saying when she talks to her husband, they would argue, they'd get in fights, and they just decided we can't do this anymore. What can we do? So they started asking each other, do I need solutions or do I need comfort? So I go and I'd be like, okay, I see you're struggling. Do you want a solution to what you're struggling with, or do you want comfort right now? And so that's a good way to like support your partner in those emotions as parents, right? Whether that's issues with them or issues with your kids or just life or work or whatever it is, that's a good way to support each other. So after you do the things that you need, you got to follow through. You got to say, okay, what do I need? Now, what can I do with what I need? Can I call my friend later? Okay, I'm going to schedule that. I'm going to text them and say, hey, let's jump on a call later. Take action to support your emotions once you've recognized them and kind of worked through them and processed in that moment. And do you need to ask for a break? Make sure you take that break. So those are kind of just the simple ways to recognize those emotions. Identify them, acknowledge them, get curious, ask yourself what got you upset, what's triggering you, figure out what you need, and what can I do for myself. And I know that's a lot in a split moment to do all of those things all at once, but give yourself some grace and allow yourself to do 1% better each day. You're not always gonna be the perfect emotional guru. I still struggle with it. I struggle with it a lot. And that's part of the reason I do what I do. And I love the emotional side of things because I need to work at it as well. So anyways, that's recognizing your emotions. What are some ways we can decompress when we're feeling those high heated emotions? One of my favorite ways to decompress is to ground. I love being outside. I love taking my bare feet, pressing them against the cold grass, and just feeling that energy and that stress kind of leave my body and release those emotions. And so when you're earthing, when you're grounding, your body is in contact with the earth and its natural electric charge. And that charge stabilizes your body, and it stabilizes it at the deepest levels. So all the way to your core. And so those free electrons that enter into your body, they help reduce that stress. They help release and relieve some of that pain or that inflammation you might be having, or anxiety, or the level of mood you're at. It's really supportive. So that's one of my top favorite ways to decompress. Another way that I love to decompress is to diffuse and apply my oils. And a lot of the times I'll do that grounding paired with that oil. So you're going to want to add an uplifting blend to your diffuser. You want to grab that adaptive, or grab your balance, or whatever it is that's going to kind of help calm you, or even a citrus oil that brings joy, and put it in your diffuser or apply it to your body. Another way you can decompress is taking time for yourself. I'm a bath person. You guys, I just moved and I don't have a nice bath anymore. And I won't for like another year. And it hurts. It's so sad. But if you do have the luxury of a bath right now, use it to your advantage. Apply those oils to your bath. Add oils to your bath, and add Epsom salt to your bath. Decompress that way and relax. Go on a walk, journaling, just finding those quiet moments to be in your thoughts and release those feelings. And it kind of just goes back to that recognizing your emotions. If you're heated in the moment with your 7-year-old butting heads screaming at each other, neither of you is going to end up in a positive in that moment. So I've had to learn to either walk away or let things go. But the best thing to do is kind of remove yourself from that situation and come back to it, which kind of brings me to the next point, which is to breathe. I've taught my children this, I've done this, and that's just to take 3 deep cleansing breaths before responding to a situation. When I'm heated in the moment, when I remember, because I'm a hothead, I get angry and I get frustrated really quickly. And that is a trigger from my past. That's okay. But I will take my hand on my chest and I'll take a deep breath in through your nose. You're going to hold it for 3 seconds and you're going to release it. So if you're comfortable doing it right now, if you'll place your hand on your chest and just you want to fill your lungs, make sure you feel that almost like a balloon filling up. You're going to breathe in through your nose, hold it, and release it. And I do that 3 times, and it kind of helps you just kind of clear your head and focus and recenter so that you can address what's going on. You can address the emotions that are happening. You can support both yourself and your children in that moment. And so those are kind of the ways that you're recognizing, you're decompressing. And we're going to share some, if I can get my screen to work here. Hold on, my mouse is stuck. Share some oils for moms.
Okay, so some that we like to use, I put Balance. Balance is like a really grounding, just good calming I love to use balance. Rub it on your feet or just rub it on your hands and like put it up to smell it. It's also a good one for like if you're outside grounding to like decompress. Balance is great. And then adaptive, everybody loves adaptive. I always like will smell tint it, will diffuse it. I will always I keep adaptive like in the diaper bag for when we're out and about and tantrums are happening. It's super good and calming. And then motivate, I put mainly, I mean, I have the roller bottle, but I also really like to diffuse motivate if like we're just feeling like we can't get anything done and we're just kind of dragging. I love motivate. Copaiba is really good for like anxiety. They have Copaiba capsules, which I like to take, and then also just the roller and mixed and diffusing too. Copaiba is great. You can rub on your spine, bottom of the feet. And then Rose is on there just because if you can like love yourself, like you'll be a lot better at being able to like handle situations or helping your kids, like if you have self-love for yourself too. And then Wild Orange is just really good, like lifting, diffuse it, smell it. It's just a good like mood booster. And then Bergamot is also but it is also like a self-acceptance oil, like helps with low self-esteem and just self-acceptance. Is there anything you wanted to add, Brooke?
No, you pretty much covered it. I was just reading the chat. Because Sydney said that she's been adding bergamot to her diffuser with any oil that she feels called to using, and it's been beneficial. That's kind of cool. So you're like sharing it, Sydney? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, what was that? What did you just ask?
You're pairing the bergamot with like another oil. Is that what or are you just diffusing bergamot?
Yeah, I have bergamot here at my desk. And so anytime I grab any other oil to diffuse, like cheer or wild orange, or what are the other ones I have right here? Like Copaiba, Kumquat, Balance. I've been just adding bergamot randomly, which was just like random because it's not one that you use or hear about often. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I've just been putting that with everything and it makes everything smell really good. And I noticed that I'm getting a little bit more mental clarity when I diffuse it. So it's been when I pair with a lot of things now.
That's awesome. Yeah, Shayna said it's the oil of self-acceptance, and it's also just really good for when you're feeling down or you kind of just need that boost of like, okay, I can do better. Like, I know I'm okay. I know I'm going to do this, and kind of gives you that hope and courage to go move forward. So that's awesome. Just going to read the chat really quick. Eden said she loves Motivate. It's become one of our family favorites. That's a good one. I like that one as well. When I
also like diffusing Motivate with Harvest Spice. If you haven't tried it.
Okay.
It smells delicious.
I haven't tried that one. That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna need to do that. And then, Shailene said that the 1% better each day. Yeah, I really like going back to that. Sorry, just to hop back for a second. That 1%. I heard it with someone else on social media that they're like, my goal for the year is just to be 1% better every day. And I kind of applied that with emotions. I need to try and be 1% better because I can try to be better, even though I'm not always on top of it when it comes to my emotions or supporting my kids' emotions or whatever. That's always a good one. And yes, Eden, it's awesome to teach to kids. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about identifying kids' emotions. So just kind of a fun fact, emotions are the biggest motivator of human action. So when your child is upset, what they're going to do next, their action is because of their feeling. Same with us. If we're feeling upset, the way we treat someone else, that's an action based off of how we're feeling and our emotions, right? So I kind of break down how to identify kids' emotions, and it's along the lines of an adult, but it's just a little bit more child friendly, right? So with a kid, you want to name the emotion, and that can be done by teaching them the words for their emotion. And you can use those images that are up there, use pictures, use books, use your tools. We'll share the feelings guide in a minute, of what the emotion would look like. You can even like play it out and show them like, what does a sad face look like? And they can show you a sad face and say, okay, that's sad, right? And name that to them. What's a happy face? And they smile. What's a frustrated face? And you're teaching them the vocabulary and the name of the emotion so that they appropriately can relate the two. Once you have identified that emotion for them and named that emotion, then you're going to want to talk about the emotion. Okay. I see that you're feeling frustrated. Ask them what they're feeling so they can name it. And then ask them what's causing it. Oh, my brother destroyed my Lego set. Okay. So match that feeling to the emotion they're having. Match the like with the faces, right? Make sure they're aware of the name of that emotion. And then talk to them about it. Okay. So you're feeling frustrated because your brother broke your toys. Go back to those breaths that we talked about as an adult. Help them to breathe so they can think clearly and talk them through it about maybe how they can fix it right in that moment. As you've taught your child to name the emotions and talk about their emotions so that they're being communicative of it, you want to give them that positive reinforcement. Encourage them. Wow, I'm really grateful that you came and told me that you're feeling frustrated. And I know you're feeling frustrated. Validate those feelings so that they know that they're being heard. You are being secure to that, or helping them to feel secure and safe to talk about the way they're feeling, because it's not something to be upset about, or what's the right word? Shy about feeling a certain way. This is normal. Having these feelings is completely normal, whether you're on a level of like high frequency emotions where you're joyful and you're happy, or if you're on low frequency and you're struggling and you're not confident in your situation, or you're mad, or whatever it is, right? Every level of emotion is normal, and it's teaching us different lessons in life, right? So emotions are a supportive tool actually for us, and they help us work through things in life. So validate what they're feeling. And then once you name it, once you talk about it, once you give that positive reinforcement, before I move to the teach them control, don't follow with a but. Okay. So I'm so glad that you came to me and told me that your brother broke your stuff and that you're feeling frustrated. Thank you so much for communicating with me. But this, and this, or, but you were in the wrong here, or you need to do better, or whatever it is. Don't follow it with a but, because then it invalidates that positivity that you just gave them. It's almost like, yeah, you just gave me support, but I'm still a bad child in their mind, right? I'm still not good enough. I still am not doing what should be done. And kids can see that as a negative. They're not going to cling on to that positive. Our minds tend to hold on to the bad things or the negative things that people say to us, right? So anyways, I just wanted to just say that. Try not to follow with a but. Try to just keep it positive. And if there is corrective criticism in there, save it for a little bit later, or try to keep it positive when you're talking to them. Don't use the word but. And then you want to teach them control. So teach them the coping mechanisms, the strategies to control their emotions. Show them what it's like to process it and work through what they're feeling, to show them how to calm down. If it's repeating, I know some of the girls on here, their kids do affirmations. My kids do affirmations. Saying those out loud are tools that are going to help them. Grab their oils, teach them about their oils that they can use to support their bodies, to support their emotions. I do essential emotions coaching. And while this is patient confidentiality, don't come at me. He was my little boy, but his oil ended up being peppermint. And after the whole session was done, he found this positive release of emotions using peppermint, and it brought him joy and comfort. And it's just a happy oil, right? And so he was feeling so good after that session was over. And I'm over there bawling because I'm his mom and I have to like coach him through it and not be his mom in the moment. I'm like, I'm so glad he has that tool to be happy. I'm like, can I have some of that too? I need that. But he was able to use those tools and now he reaches for it. He's like, I want my peppermint, mom, because he knows it makes him feel good. So that's why we love and we're pairing these emotions with an oil. Anyways, Shayna, do you want to read the chat?
Yes. Eden said, this is seriously so cool and life-changing for a parent and child relationship. It takes a lot of practice and patience as the parent because we need to manage our frustrations so we can support our kids in their big emotions. It can be so beautiful.
Love that. Okay. And then, okay, if you want to do yours, Shayna, and then we can do back and forth.
Okay, so for Steady, we have been using this one a lot for my toddler. He keeps it on his dresser, and anytime he's feeling like he wants to scream and is not happy, I'll be like, do you want to go get your oil off your dresser? And he knows to rub it, and we'll take some deep breaths. And it's just a really like grounding blend, and it smells so good too. So it just, I feel like is good to help calm them down a little bit and regroup. And then Wild Orange is like, I feel like I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's just a really good like mood boosting, like uplifting oil. Like pair it with pretty much anything and you can just like it uplifts your mood.
Yeah, citrus oils are awesome. And there's citrus in both of those. So, I mean, obviously the Wild Orange, but the Steady smells like Fruit Loops.
Yes, it smells so
So
good.
Okay, so Copaiba, Shayna touched on this earlier too. I use it when my children, specifically one of them, is in like an uncontrollable tantrum. When he can't focus and he's just screaming because he's still learning to process his emotions and stuff, I grab the Copaiba and I rub it along his spine. His spine there's so many nerve endings in your back and in your spine. And so it's just going to take that Copaiba and deliver it throughout your body. And it seriously, within like 2 minutes, it's going to help calm him down so fast. And even if he's still angry, he can at least like think and process again, because when he gets so heated and so mad, there's no controlling any emotions. There's no communicating with him. It's just, I'm frustrated. I don't know how to get it out. So I'm going to scream and I'm going to throw a tantrum. And this Copaiba helps calm him down. And it's truly a magical oil. I absolutely love it. And then I did just mention the peppermint. The peppermint is it's a joyful oil. It's going to bring uplifting, positive feelings. And it also is, if you have like a heavy heart, if you're feeling really sad or down, peppermint's going to bring you that joy, bring you that happiness. And then, okay, go ahead, Shayna.
Okay, so adaptive, we've also kind of touched on a little bit, but adaptive, just diffusing throughout your house, diffusing like in the car. I keep it in the diaper bag, like I said, just for deep breaths, and it will lower your cortisol levels so you're not feeling super stressed. Good for tantrums. Lavender is also, it's inadaptive, but if you just have lavender, it's really calming on its own. It's able to allow you to be able to relax so that you then can communicate over what you're upset about.
Okay, and then the other two that I like to grab, frankincense is a really good focus oil, and it's really good for fear or depression or fatigue or anxiety. It is the king of all oils, and really truly, as an emotional support, a lot of women will grab Copaiba or frankincense or both of them, because it does it all, medicinally, but also emotionally. And then the other one is geranium. And I was just talking to Shayna about this before we started, that one of my little guys, we'll show you the feelings guide next or in just a second, but his emotion that he always goes to is frustrated. And on that feelings guide, the number one oil is geranium. So that's actually what got me to buy this oil. And if you've ever smelt it, it is so, so strong. So I like to just dab it on my finger because a whole drop is almost consuming. It's a powerful, powerful oil. But that one's really good for like mood swings and inner strength. So giving your child that confidence to come out of whatever emotion they're feeling and help them through their mood swings that they're having. So those are our top 8 oils to grab. And then we have some diffuser and roller blends we wanted to share with you.
Okay, so a stressed one, adaptive and Copaiba, you can diffuse both of those together. You can rub them on your feet, spine. So that's really good for a roller blend and diffuser blend. And then unwind is I liked balance and serenity together. I like to put both of those in the diffusers at night, especially just when we've had a crazy day, helps my little kids sleep good. And then happy, citrus bliss and vanilla, diffusing that just uplifts everyone's mood. And then a chill pill kind of diffuser blend, balance grapefruit and lime. It's just nice to diffuse in your house.
Awesome. Eden says that they do the unwind blend every night in the diffuser.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
love
I've
doing
never
that.
paired them together. I usually just do one or the other, or funny enough, Shayna cedarwood. That's what I put in my kids' diffusers at night. But
That's so funny.
Serenity are awesome. Shayna doesn't really like cedarwood, so we'll get
No.
it. Okay, let's share with you guys the feelings guide really quick. Okay, this is available on aromatools.com or Essential Emotions. You can find it on there. This, you can see it on the screen. Probably can't see me, but the feelings guide has those emojis, those faces that you can like share with your kids, and you can be like, okay, I see you're having these feelings. What are you feeling? And they can point to it, and they can flip over the back of the card, and they can read the options of the oils that they're feeling. So the other night, my one little guy I think he was more feeling sad. He said he was feeling sad, but he pointed to sensitive. So we went with it. And I listed a couple. There was TerraShield, there was On Guard, Clove. And those were all like, okay, yeah, they probably do a great job. But then there was Holiday Joy. And I'm like, let's go with the fun oil, like the holiday happy oil. So you went with that. And it's so funny when you watch your kids take these oils into their hands and they want to fight it. They're like, this isn't working. And I'm like, yeah, it is. You can see the smirk on your face. He's like, I'm not better. I'm like, yes, you are. You're doing it, and you're controlling your emotions, and you're learning how to use these tools to support your body, right? So I absolutely love this feelings guide. You can get it free with me this month if you are one of my customers. And you do your refer a friend with 3 enrollments this month of 100 PV. You get 3 friends to enroll. I will send this to you for free. You don't have to purchase it. If you aren't one of my customers, or you just want to go buy it yourself, go for it. You can download it, or you can get the actual physical copy from the websites that I mentioned. So does anyone have any thoughts or questions that they want to share really quick? I know there was Jazzy really quick said, this is such a great tool to help our little ones identify their emotions. All of this is such amazing information. Thanks, Jazzy. Jazzy's also an emotional coach, so go hang out with her too. Go follow her. Shayna, did you have anything else to add?
No, I was just gonna say, even though my toddler obviously can't read the back, he is able to still like point out faces. So I feel like at a young age, they can like still kind of realize what they're feeling.
Yeah, I love that. And then you can just be like, okay, well, I know what oil to go grab, right?
Yeah.
That's so fun. I love it. Does anyone else have the feelings guide that they absolutely love it and use it frequently? Oh, there you go. Eden's family uses it. Okay, I am going to stop sharing my screen here and end the recording. Thank you guys so much for coming.